Mm. hello to everyone that's joined so far. Yes, how are we doing? Good morning. Hello to you, legend. Great to see you in the chat. How are we? How is everyone doing? That is here so far, anyway. Hello, Nick. Hello, Nicky boy. Just X doesn't seem to be working. Don't know why. Is X not working for anyone else? I need to get this tweet out, but X doesn't really seem to be working. Is anyone else finding that, or not really? Doing good, my man. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited for another week. New week of streaming and videos, but X doesn't seem to be working. Is anyone else having a problem with X? Just doesn't seem to be loading. Everyone that's joined so far, anyway, welcome. Good morning, John. Oh, I think we're back. Are we back? I don't know. Doesn't seem to be loading anyway. Is X not loading for anyone else or just me? But good morning, John. How are you doing? Great to see everyone so far. Thank you for jumping in. I just can't seem to get it going. Can't seem to get it going. Same here. Seems to be down right. Okay. Right. Well, we'll crack on then for now. And then we will sort that out. And I'll get the tweets out whenever it decides to go back live. We'll check it every 10 minutes or so. But yeah, obviously looking at Bitcoin, we did have a good run up, didn't we, over the weekend? We had a decent run in towards Sunday, and then Sunday proved to be the downfall yet again. Another Sunday downfall. But we did come up and we tagged resistance again, 71k tagged, and then rejected from it. Just had a nasty hourly candle, haven't we? Had a real nasty hourly candle. If we go and have a look to see where we are on a daily. As you can see there, yesterday again, another rejection at resistance. So that ties in, obviously, with the 4 days of rejection that we had earlier this month. And then we had another pop-up bang, reject, back to the downside. So Bitcoin is yet to break resistance. We're still below resistance. And I suppose all this is doing is building liquidity as well, because when we eventually do pop up from up above that resistance region, we should pop quite hard, one would imagine. But yeah, let me know, what would you guys trade in over the weekend? Did anyone trade anything decent? But yeah, at the moment we are just flat, nothing really going on, and yeah, nothing really happening. So that's what we're up to on the daily time frame. Obviously, low time frame wise, good opportunity to long and short, hasn't it? If we go down to say the 4 hour time frame, wax Stonksy on there. Some good opportunities to long and short. Obviously, shorting that resistance region was the right idea. That's obviously where we drew our line, wasn't it? And price never got above there, apart from that quick liquidation there. And then longing down here. This is where we looked at on Friday, wasn't it? This region here. I think it was, well, where was it? Can't remember. It was one of the, anyway, in and around kind of 66, 65-ish. But yeah, that's where we're currently at anyway on Bitcoin. So I think what we can do now is it's still quite early days, in this range, and we could form a different region. But what I think we can do for the meantime, let me just select that. I think what we can do for the meantime is deduce that we do have some form of range built now, which seems to be this. So that seems to be it for now. And I think this is where we can now obviously look at Bitcoin trading to and from, and then also, looking for a bigger move once it eventually breaks one of these. But this seems to be the range, and we could be stuck in here for quite a while on Bitcoin. Now, obviously, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, 8k Bitcoin. I'll be honest, as I'm always honest with you guys. A bit of clickbaitiness from myself. There is a reason I put that. Not just picking a random number of 8K and throwing it in there, you know, for kind of clickbait. There is a reason. The reason, though, was on X. I can't actually go through the reasoning without going on X. So let's see if it's working again. Is it working yet? No. Do you know what? I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but X seems to be going down a lot recently. Has anyone else noticed that? X just seems to be going down more and more. Doesn't seem to really be consistent anymore. The downtime on it seems to go down at least once a week. That I find anyway. So MSTR. Where is it? Is the US market not open today? US market closed today. There's no pre-market. Oh, it's a holiday. Oh, so US market's actually closed today. So yeah, there you go. We got no US Open today. Which, do you know what's really funny? And obviously, there's only 4 of you guys in here at the moment. But what's really funny is President Day on Wednesday. I obviously said about Friday, didn't I? I said if I didn't have the bell for Friday, then for Friday Open, then I would have to do a $100 Sol giveaway. Now, full transparency, I don't have the bell, so I thought I was going to have to do a $100 giveaway on stream. But there's no US market open, so I've got one last chance for Wednesday. So I've been given a lifeline of Wednesday because there's no US market today, so I don't have to when the US market will be open. So it'll be back open tomorrow, Nick. But I still don't have the bell, but there's no US market open today, so I don't have to ring the bell. So that is just bloody fantastic, isn't it? Let's see if I still don't have the bell on Wednesday, then I'll have to give $100 away. But just as it happens, there's no US market today, so I'll be holding on to my $100 for now anyway. What a turn up for the books that is. What a turn up for the books that is. Yeah, no bell, mate, no bell. I didn't realise it was a holiday today. This price action on Bitcoin's a little wild, isn't it? This price action on Bitcoin is a little wild. But yeah, what have you guys been up to anyway? You guys let me know what you've been up to. We're still waiting for X to come on. Is it going to load? Still having none of it, is it? Still having none of it. It's still having none of it. Chippy, doing quite well. Consolidating sub $1 million market cap. So that's where the chipster's up to. Can get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, all in all. So basically, the whole 8K thing in the title and obviously in the thumbnail is was basically just to do with the tweet that Sailor put out yesterday in strategy. Basically just saying that even if they went down to 8K, they'd basically still be all right for a period of time until, you know, say Bitcoin held too long down there. Then obviously that at that point, then they would be in trouble. But they also mentioned something quite interesting about in the coming years they want to equitize the debt, which I'll be honest, I mean, you're basically taking debt and then making a product out of it, aren't you? I'll be honest, I'm not massively clued up on that, but that's what they want to do. So, you know, there we have it. But yeah, overall, Bitcoin currently selling off, but I really want to get on X, not just to tweet it out. I want to obviously run through the whole tweets yesterday, this is pretty annoying. Yeah, so that's where we're up to with that anyway. But yeah, no US market open today, unfortunately. It is a holiday. I wasn't aware of, but I mean, look at Bitcoin. Yeah, this is going quite fast, isn't it? It's a long upper wick that on the 4 hour. It's a long upper wick on the 4 hour. I got 7 people in now. Welcome to the stream. Do make sure you drop a like. Do make sure you get commenting as well. I want to know who else we've got in the chat. So far, we have only had because YouTube only shows the usernames now. I can't remember some people's like actual names. Patanitis. I don't know. I can't remember what your display name used to be, because YouTube only shows the actual username now, not the display name. So your name's on the tip of my tongue, but your username is Patanini. Obviously Nick, John, and then we got Wizzin. We got Wizzin all the way from Thailand on a date, but tuning in to hear your beautiful voice. Oh, are you? Mario, that's it. Mario, mate. It was on the tip of my tongue. Well, Wiz, you little romantic. Don't worry, she is a full lady. Yeah. Soon to be full lady or actual full lady. In the process of becoming a full lady or actually full, fully actual lady. Well, mate, enjoy your date. I'm sure you're absolutely loving it out in Thailand. Weather looks beautiful. Videos are looking cracking as well. Obviously, do make sure everyone goes and checks out Wiz's videos daily. Put another one up, obviously, today. So do make sure you go and check that out. You can find them on the Crypto Saving Expert channel. But yeah, in terms of Bitcoin, we're selling off. And yeah, we have a we'll let you know tomorrow. Love it, mate. Love it. Yeah, we have a non-US market day today. The US market is closed. So, I mean, I would say it might be a little more quiet, but that low time volatility that we've got on Bitcoin there is great, isn't it? I mean, look at that volatility low time frame on Bitcoin there, all the way up past 70k and all the way back down towards 68 in an hour. So it's not as if the volatility is not there, but I do want to cover this whole 8k thing. Maybe bidding hype again at 29. Wiz, did you see that thing I put in the Stonksy Discord about Apple? About Apple maybe being the actual, maybe potentially like kind of in the shadows best AI stock. I think a lot of people are turning their like Mac Minis and stuff into with that Clawbot, aren't they? Whatever the people are doing with that Clawbot. But basically, I think Apple hardware is basically like getting bought up and sold out. Avgo is the play on that. Let's see. Oh, Broadcom, I remember. Yeah, I remember you speaking about this. Broadcom. Let's see where we are on the weekly. We're actually starting to come a bit down, aren't we, on Broadcom? We're starting to come a bit down. Hopefully, yeah, come down more. But let's see. Where is Apple relative? So Apple's actually like, yeah, I mean it's not cheap, is it? I mean it just last week it was up towards its all-time high, so it's not in a cheap area. One thing that's been absolutely, in the words of Wiz, body pumped is Microsoft. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Microsoft has nearly wiped out all the gains. Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft has nearly wiped out all the gains from the tariff pump. Look at how many green weeks that is. If you look at that, right. So from the 21st of April to the 28th of July, it only had one red week. That was just literally just green. But it's nearly wiped out all of the gains from the post-tariff drop, which is really interesting because if we look at everything else, nothing else is really doing that. Everything else is still up towards the all-time high. Amazon has begun maybe the start of a deep pullback, but I mean nothing really has. I mean, relative to say for instance, you look at Google there, and you look at Google, Microsoft is basically down back to, say if Google went back to there, on the time frame on the chart, we called that on the Crypto Saving Expert video. There we go then. There we go. More reason to go and watch Wiz's daily videos. But, you know, in terms of time frame wise, that'd be the same as Google. Obviously, the percentage would be different. You know, the percentage pullback would be different. But in terms of time frame, that would basically be like Google coming all the way back down to here, almost erasing fully the post tariff pump. Now, Google actually started a lot later though. If you see, Google actually hung around for quite a bit. You know, if you come up to say here, late July, that was basically when Microsoft topped out, wasn't it? Or started to top out anyway, where Google then had its run all the way into the end of the year. Not to brag, but I do get things right sometimes. more often than not, mate. More often than not. So yeah, that's obviously what we're up to. But yeah, we won't get these opened until tomorrow. What we do obviously have is futures. So we do have futures. Now, one thing I was looking at last week was the performance of the S&P when it starts to basically hit a brick wall and starts to run out of momentum, really. And if you look at the past couple times that we've done that, it has resulted in a sometimes big, sometimes small. You know, obviously this was more of a bear market, this one. So obviously topping out here, that was more of an actual bear market because that went on. You know, if you look at that January, that went on basically for the rest of the year. So that was more of an actual bear market where these were short-term pullbacks. Just question is, are we going to do the same on here? Look at coin. Let's see. See that? Yeah. Well, it's like MSTR, and it was. You know, it's like MSTR. If you look at coin there, you know, there's your weekly demand. You know, it came in 2024, came in 2025, and it's just coming in again here. Same for MSTR. You know, if you look at exactly where MSTR has bounced, literally just bounced at where previously it found weekly demand. So even if these things are going to break through, they may get a small, it's not a small bounce, is it? MSTR bounced like 30% off the low. Coinbase had a great day on Friday, you know, up 16%, Circle 6%, Gemini up almost 13%. Gemini, absolute piece of shit. But, you know, there we go. Also type in EEM SPX into your trading view. Let's see. Hang on, it's not that, is it? You just type it in. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Short sale volume. Hang on. Which one am I going on here? This. Short sale volume. Type it in and hit enter. Hang on. Hang on, it's not doing anything. EEM / SPX. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So what is EEM then? What is EEM? I suppose that's the first thing to deduce, isn't it? Because that thing obviously just lost everything against the S&P, but it's coming back up hot now. So what is EEM? That is the question. Emerging markets. I remember you saying, actually, I think it was one day last week, weren't it, where you said you were focusing on emerging markets. So they will outperform SPX again. Yeah, X just still isn't working. We're still not getting anything working on X. So X is still down, unfortunately. But all right, okay. A nice little bit of insight there from Wiz, isn't it? Nice little bit of insight there. But I mean, in terms of Bitcoin, what we often, what we have to do now is try and deduce: are we now in a phase? Right, okay. Got you. Lee says, oi, just about to start my shift till midnight. We'll catch up later. Oh, later, mate. Have a good one. Mate, have a good one. Have a great day, Lee. And Yeah, this one's for you, mate. You ready? There you go. Get some coffee down, you mate, and yeah, have a good one. Yeah, I mean, if we look at Bitcoin like that, the main thing that we've got to try and deduce is, are we in a phase now of consolidation? Or are we still to go lower? And the thing is do we get a bounce first, or do we simply just melt lower? I think it's going to be really fascinating, because I think you've got two really simple potentials, haven't you? You've got two really simple potentials of Bitcoin has reached the bottom, or Bitcoin is going to put in a complacency bounce and then drop lower. The one that's not so simple is just the scenario in which it just melts straight down again and just kind of hits, say, like 40k, and then bang, that's it, done. That's the not so simple answer, because it wouldn't really make much sense in terms of the chart, although it would obviously be a fantastic opportunity, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it, to try and figure out? But we're at a great we're at a great place on Bitcoin for potentially all three. We're at a great place to potentially put a bottom in. You're at a great place to start a kind of dead cat bounce, complacency bounce, whatever you want to call it. Or we're in a great place to simply just catch everyone off guard and go, right, one more leg, melt it down to 40k, done, over. We're also at a potential really good place for that as well. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think hopefully we'll start to see signs of one or the other. It's still very early days, isn't it? This is only the actual third weekly candle. Obviously, we had this one, and then last week, and then this one. So there's not really been that much time. Tell you what, something that got hit hard yesterday was ETH. ETH got absolutely slammed yesterday. It was down, I think it was down 7%, while Bitcoin and Sol were down just over 2%. Ethereum was down 7%. It got absolutely slammed yesterday. However, I'm very interested on ETH, I'll be honest. ETH does interest me a lot. And I am very, very interested in ETH. I do think at some point in time it will make sense to buy, because it simply just can't it can't be underperformed forever, can it? I do think there is a time and a place for ETH, say in the next 5 years, where it will actually outperform and actually do something good. ETH on 4-hour range place looks nice. Yeah, it seems to be building that nice range there. You can see it just straight away, can't you? Like, obviously it'll probably look a bit different on the 4-hour, but you can easily see there kind of around 2,100, and then obviously down here towards 1,900. Just off the naked eye, bang, bang. Looks nice. Bitcoin's also potentially forming a range. Is this the range on Bitcoin as well? But I do think at some point there will be a really good opportunity for ETH. Now, I just don't know where it's going to come. I don't know whether it's here. I've literally paid for Thailand just playing Bitcoin and ETH range trades. That's all you need, innit? The easiest time in the market can be just ranging. It doesn't have to be a trend. Like, when you can just slam something between support and resistance constantly, as long as the market is still giving it, then it's just basically free money, isn't it? It's just basically free money. As long as you can mark out the range and just ping pong it, then it's free money until one breaks. Hello, Jeffrey. How are we doing? Great to see you, Jeff. Great to see you. But yeah, I do think at some point there will be a great time to buy on ETH. Now, I will be honest. I would buy the hell out of ETH down here. So, yeah. We'll see. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, mate, to be honest. I was literally just working on my house. My house is closed now. I tell you what, I've done. I didn't imagine, and obviously there's probably a few people that are in the chat that maybe have done a renovation, but I'll be honest, my budget got completely blew out the water with my house. like considerably. I've gone above and beyond, but it's had some serious work done to it, and it is starting to look mega now. It's starting to really be put back together. The plastering finished last week. It started being painting today. So the painting started today. All the electrics starting to have, the spotlights put in, the switches and the sockets are being put on as well. So it's starting to come together, and also the kitchen's going in this week too. So it is starting to come together. But I'll tell you what, just all weekend I was just busy like cleaning up the house, doing some last bits that I can do, obviously moving into this week. But that was basically me. But yeah, in terms of renovation, like my budget got completely blew out the water pretty fast with a few things. Dave selling for his renovation. Mate, I did have to sell some things, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about not just budget, you're talking about like things that you aren't prepared for. There is easily, I would probably say, about 12 grand of costs that just completely weren't prepared for at all. Which is not, it's not a small chunk of money. But yeah, it's coming together anyway. I can't wait to get into my new spot for streaming and stuff as well. It'll be great. I absolutely hate painting. When I moved last year, I just paid to have it done. It's the worst. Yeah, that's what I've done. Just paid to have it done. The paint, to be fair, actually, the painting of the house wasn't actually that much. It's not actually that much to get it done. It should all be done this week too. I'm not actually got too much left to do to it. I've only got now. So once the painting's done this week, and once the kitchen goes in this week, then all that needs to be done then is new bathroom needs to go in, and a new downstairs toilet, and then the doors need to be hung on the wall, but I've already bought them, and then flooring, and that's it. It's ready to move in. Obviously, there's still some bits to do, but I've already bought them all. Like, bought myself a nice oak windowsill in the living room and stuff. So all that's already bought. I don't really need to buy much more now, apart from the bathroom and the downstairs toilet stuff. Someone needs to pay for the taxman's kids. Is the snooker room ready? To be fair, I wouldn't put a snooker table in. I'd put a pool table if I wanted to. But I do have a nice size adjoining garage, which eventually what I'll do is convert it into like some sort of room, whether it be, another lounge area, or whether it be like a games room or whatever. I'm going to have my office in there, but what I'll basically do is there's more than enough ceiling height to put a second floor in over a little bit. So what I'll be doing is putting a second floor. It's got like this massive wooden beam going across it that obviously, supports the roof and that on it. But what I'll be doing is along that beam, I'll put a second floor and a little tiny staircase going up it, and then that's where my setup and my desk and everything will be. So I'll have that on the upper level, and then in the bottom bit, I'm basically free to do whatever. Mezzanine floor. Is that what it's called? Mezzanine floor. I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it, mate. Olympic pool in the basement. I tell you what, I've seen a couple of videos where like people actually do have like a pool in the basement, and it's pretty good, because you literally just like walk down the stairs, and you literally like basically like the pool's just like built with the walls, isn't it? So there's no like sides to stand on or whatever. You literally just like walk down the stairs and you just jump into the pool, which is like it looks posh. It's like a little kind of like cave pool in it. I'd love one of them, but no. A mezzanine is an intermediate floor between main stories of a building, typically open to the double height ceiling below and not covering the entire. Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah. So I'll put like a little one going across the beam, which will be like between the beam and the wall, and then that will be then where I put my desk and my setup and everything, and I'll have my own little nice thing then. Might even get a door on it as well, and just completely like just block myself off from everything else. could turn it into whatever, really. It literally could be turned into whatever. But anyway, I mean, unless people want to carry on hearing me speak about renovating and kind of, if anyone's actually interested, because we don't have any US Open today, do we? And let's be honest, the market isn't really doing much. You know, you look at ETH, you look at Bitcoin, you look at stocks, it's not really doing much. So if anyone actually wants to, if anyone's interested into any parts of the renovation or how much things have cost, I'll tell you what though. I will tell you what. I reckon come the end of it. Well, I don't reckon. I know. I know for a fact come the end of it, I'll have probably saved myself, I think, around £15,000 from getting people that I know and mates to do some of the work that needed doing. Rather than obviously just getting a typical random tradesman, because I've had a lot of people that I know, you know, that are qualified in different things, whether it be plumbing, electrician, joinery, whatever, to actually do the work. That have obviously gave me, you know, some good rates, mate rates. So if anyone's actually interested in how much things have cost, or if you want to just know anything about it, then more than happy to speak about that. But otherwise, we'll just carry on with the market. Let me know in the chat if anyone is interested in a certain bit, or what I've found to be the most pricey, or what I've found to be the hardest, or whatever it may be. Just let me know, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. If not, I'll just shut up and I'll carry on. Just FYI, the mezzanine thing is how JJB got big. They doubled the retail floor space that way. Oh, all right, yeah. So was JJB the first of its kind to do that? I remember JJB near me was epic. I know exactly what you mean, because it's a different shop now, but the layout is exactly the same. So they've still got that up a bit, but I remember it perfectly in JJB from when I was a kid. Epic, much better than Sports Direct and stuff that's out now. JJB was the best. Did you see what Doge did this weekend? Check that. I'm looking to short that. I did see that it was up. Yeah, because I think a few other memes had good runs as well. So yeah, Doge had a good run, but I know I saw Pengu had a good run. So Pengu, I think it may have just been like a general meme thing. Pump had a good run. So things seem to have had a good run over the weekend. Pepe had a good run. I think yeah. Obviously on Saturday we got a bit of Bitcoin strength, didn't we? I think Bitcoin was up about 4% or something on Saturday. So yeah, obviously, you know, memes really took the advantage on that. Some of them are just so dead though, aren't they? Like, some of them just look so dead. Oh, Mitchie. JJB at First Sport, the owners from Newcastle. All right, yeah. Yeah. What a shame. That was legendary, weren't it? What a good shop. Is X back on yet? Is X working for anyone else? Does someone else mind checking if X is working for them? Because X just doesn't seem to be reloading. Check in it. There has been a short there. Hourly bearish divergent pumped on no volume. I tell you what, Jeff, you've been scouring the market, haven't you? You've been scouring the market, my friend. Let's see. Whoa! Yeah, that did just over a 2x, didn't it? Like 2.5x. Yeah, I mean, it's coming to... Basically, if we mark out this, you can just see this from the naked eye, can't you? But if you mark out this... not there. This bit. Yeah. So obviously there is, there's your resistance before it continued to sell off. So obviously reached the point of selling exhaustion. and then come up, and look how many days that bounced against that, bang, 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 and then continued to sell off, and then did the same here, didn't it? No, it did the same here, formed another range where resistance all along here, and sold off, and this just literally just ripped through it all. Am I in a short just waiting? I mean, yeah, I suppose when I'm looking at that, I think obviously two things, you know, you got to be careful, haven't you? Because like you say, you know, that's obviously being heavily manipulated on low volume, but I mean, the closer to that grey box, the better, really, isn't it? You know, the closer you can get to that grey box, the better. Gives you, obviously, the ability to really control your stop loss more. But yeah, I didn't see that. I mean, what else has been going on? Let's see. Has anything else been pumping that maybe not took notice of? There's probably loads. Let's see. So let's see. Let's check 24 hours. Last 24 hours. What has been the biggest gainer? So stable, up 17%, up 55% in the last. Oh, look at Mix. Mix looks like it's rug pulled again. Where's Mix? I'll tell you what, this thing's got battered on it. Tell you what, it's a good job I never bought this thing. My God. That must be like 9 mil market cap or something. Anyway, Mix. Oh, there's the Mix rug pull. I bet Wiz isn't in the chat anymore because he's on a hot date, but with fucking hell. I mean, it's literally just a smaller version of what it did last time, innit? That is criminal, that. That is literally just like a smaller version of what it did last time. It's this thing, man. This fucking thing. I tell you what, as well, there'll be a chance for it to do this again. There'll be a chance for it to do this again. I bet. I would probably say, like, obviously, if it ends up coming down towards there, just below $1, not financial advice, because this thing is, in my opinion, anyway, just an outright scam by the looks of it. But if you can milk a scam, then you milk a scam, don't you? But I think probably towards there, if it comes into that bit again, maybe, then there is potential there. But I mean, look at that. That is just full on. Let's just pull the rug from underneath it, innit? And if you look at that from where it opened that day, that's 72%. And that was only on the 7th. That wasn't even 10 days ago. It was 9 days ago. 9 days and it's down 72%. What a scam. Anyway, let's have a look at stable, because, yeah, stable is looking not stable, but to the upside, not stable because it's pumping. Yeah, so this thing has been moving. This thing has been moving, hasn't it? I mean, there's not really much you can do with something like this because there's not really any price data. All you can say is, obviously, you know, there's kind of your resistance area, and that's literally all the input I have in for it, unfortunately. Nothing really much else you can say apart from that. You know, maybe if this lines up on other exchanges, then maybe obviously looking towards it filling that upper wick. But apart from that, not really much else you can say, is there? Robinhood has had a huge sell-off. That is down like 50%. I don't know if there's any value in this. I don't know. We'll have to maybe get Wiz's input on that. Stonksy big. Oh, look at that. Look at that for a switch on Stonksy as well. Bearing in mind that this was long on HUD from like all the bottom. So like, yeah, like long on HUD from literally like $12 and caught it all the way up. But look at that for a switch. But HUD is down a whopping, yeah, 50%. So maybe there's potentially some value in here. I don't know. I mean, ideally, when you look on the chart, you're being incredibly greedy and it probably won't happen. But you do look at it and you think, oh, wouldn't that be good? Kind of like $40, maybe towards 35. Oh, now that would be a bloody value area. Probably don't get it because that may be asking too much. But I mean, look at that. Look at that for a switch on the daily as well. Riding it from $12 all the way up and then getting into the red and catching that kind of like 30% drop from 107 down to 75. Hot damn. But obviously, this is another one that's not open till tomorrow. So, Asta up at 71. This thing has been grinding up, hasn't it? This thing has been slowly grinding up. You have to imagine at some point they'll pump this. We obviously just don't know when. But you have to imagine at some point surely they'll pump this. It's just a case of, you know, when/if in it. They may not do, but they also might. But let me know in the chat as well if you guys want me to run through anything specific. Obviously, we can go and look at whatever. There seems to be quite a few interesting things happening in the market. Maybe should we run through a little section on looking for value and looking for maybe, you know, opportunities, kind of preparing for maybe, you know, things to potentially buy if/when, you know, the right time comes, if you think that's now, or, you know, if we can identify levels lower or whatever, we'll go have a look. But I am just going to run to the toilet. So, as always, I will be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back shortly. Yeah, just relax for a couple minutes, and I'll be back. ITO, I'm back. I'm back. Is this thing working yet? Oh, we're on. Are we? Are we on? No. Hey, we're on, right. Just let me post out the stream link. It seems to be still on and off. Let's see. There we go. Right. There we go. Just need to get the live stream link. Absolute pain in the ass. X. Does anyone else notice that X just seems to be going down more and more? Like it must go down at least a couple times a week. Right, there we go. Right, tweeted that out. Go back to that. Let's see. Okay, right. So now what we can do is can actually finally speak about the whole topic of today's stream, which was, the idea of of an 8K Bitcoin, which may not happen, of course. But basically, it was just mentioned it was mentioned yesterday by Strategy, of course. So Strategy, I've actually cleared up. So one of the long-time things, of course, has been, where could Strategy get liquidated? What would happen to Strategy if Bitcoin went here? Blah, blah, blah. So only guy I know who takes a daily deuce during stream. No way Bitcoin goes to 8K. But what I would say is, it's not impossible, is it? It's not impossible. It's just how probable is it? Now, it may be a chance that it's 99% improbable. It may be the fact it's 99.5% improbable. But it's not impossible, is it? It's definitely not impossible. It's just, what is the probability of it happening? Now, it may be a 1 in 1,000 chance that Bitcoin does it. But there is definitely a chance. It's not impossible. But anyway, Strategy basically put a post out clearing up, because one of the big things is what would happen to Strategy in this scenario, whatever. So this Strategy post said Strategy can withstand a drawdown in Bitcoin price to 8K and still have sufficient assets to fully cover our debt. So I think one of the interesting things around that is, and this is even more improbable, in it, Jeff. Obviously talking about like there's no way that Bitcoin goes back to 8K. The fact that they've used 8K and an 88% decline as the example suggests, well, what would happen if Bitcoin went to 5K? And again, that's even more unlikely than the 8K, in it. If you're talking say just for argument's sake, say 1 in 1,000 chance that Bitcoin goes back to 8K, or if you think you'd be great, 1 in 100 chance, whatever. If you give it 1% chance, if you give it 0.1% chance, whatever. 5K, obviously, you're probably like you put in there maybe 1 in 5,000 chance or whatever, and it goes back to 8k. Sorry, 5k. The fact they've used 8k is very specific, innit? So it's something to do with this 88% drawdown. So anyway, converts are fully covered even after an 88% Bitcoin price decline. Current balance sheet, 69k Bitcoin price. Bitcoin reserves of 49.3 billion and a net debt of 6 billion, 8.3 times the Bitcoin rating. So they've got significantly more Bitcoin in the aspect of Tommy says, how old have you got to be to trade? That's a very, I'll be honest, I've never been asked that. I've never been asked that, and what I probably would say is it probably varies country to country. It's the same for any sort of law, isn't it? Countries have different drinking ages, countries have different driving ages. It probably just varies country to country. What age can you invest on your own? What age can you solely create an investing account? It probably just varies country to country. Anyway, so current balance sheet. So then extreme downside, 88% decline. So this is where the 8k comes in. This is where the 8k and 88% comes in, because Save with Crypto says, with no KYC, you can trade at any age. Yeah, suppose with no KYC, you could be any age and you could be anyone from anywhere, couldn't you? But so coming down to 8k basically puts their Bitcoin reserves on par with the net debt. So obviously they've currently got I'm 17 and think about buying your plan. I will, bro. I've been seeing good results. What plan? The Stonksy plan? Hey, there is no way. There is no way that you're 17. Wait. Oh wait. Oh, that's Adam 22, isn't it? I was gonna say there is no way. If that's you, there's no way you're 17. How have you been seeing good results if you're saying that you're going to buy the plan? Anyway, well, the thing is that Stonksy isn't like an unlock to trading. Stonksy is something that loads into Trading View. So you really need to do your own research on wherever you are, and obviously, however, someone that I chill with online has got it. Right. Well, what I would say is you need to do your own research wherever you're from, or wherever. You need to do your own research on, can you put money onto an exchange? Can you buy crypto and obviously and all that other stuff? I'm in no way able to tell you if you can and can't trade, because simply I don't know the rules for all different countries and everything else. But what I would say is, go and do your own research, or you can just ask Rock. That will give you a simple answer on it. Anyway, so Bitcoin coming all the way down to 8k then puts Strategy's Bitcoin reserve on par with its net debt. So that's where the price comes in. So convertible debt notes have staggered maturities and put dates between 2027 and 2032. Strategy plans to equitize existing convertible debt over time and avoid issuing additional senior debt. So what they're going to do there is they're going to equitize the debt. So basically they're going to wrap the debt up. They're going to wrap the debt up as a product and then put it on the market in whatever, let's just say, for instance, let's just say they give it the ticker debt. There's probably already taken, but let's just say they give it the ticker debt. They're going to wrap the debt up and they're going to then put it all out as an offering where you can buy the debt. And then obviously, I think that's what it means anyway. I don't know. Equitize. I'm not too familiar with obviously equitizing debt. That's what it maybe seems. Other than that, they're maybe then going to maybe sell the debt onto someone else. I don't know. Anyway, so the other key thing there is saying that they're going to avoid issuing additional senior debt. So it doesn't seem like they're going to do any more convertible note raises. That's what it seems like. They're not going to do any other convertible note raises. Now, someone actually said at Grok, how is this possible? And Grok actually said, you know, that the debt is low interest convertible notes with maturities to 2032, no margin calls or forced sales. They'd refinance via equity/debt before selling Bitcoin, no liquidation risk until then. So basically, the only major risk that strategy has, and this kind of puts the whole thing to bed, in it, of people talking about strategy being liquidated and you know, say if Bitcoin goes down to 40k, 30k, will strategy have to sell Bitcoin, blah blah blah. It seems like they've got a completely bulletproof strategy, doesn't it? You know, if you pardon the pun, unless Bitcoin goes below 8k. and in that scenario, I think all of us, you're either on the side of, you're either having a party or you're either really sad. Personally, and let me know in the chat, which one would you be on? But if Bitcoin went below 8k, I'd be having a party, because just imagine being able to buy a whole Bitcoin that cheap. Like, in pounds at the moment, that would literally be like 6k. Like, literally like 6k for a whole Bitcoin. Like, you'd be able to completely fill your bags. You'd be able to get ETH for probably $100. Like, no joke. ETH would probably literally be like $100, $200. It would be insane. Solana would probably be about $5. Again, the chance of it happening, you know, whatever you personally want to give it, 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1, 10,000 to 1. But there is definitely the chance. You can't say it's impossible, can you? You cannot say when something is tradable and it has a price and it varies based on supply and demand. It's definitely not impossible. It's just a probability. But then obviously Sailor then comes in with a quote tweet of this, saying our plan is to equidize our convertible debt over the next 3 to 6 years. So basically, they're going to try and equitize the debt before it matures. So 3 to 6 years. Why have they picked 3 to 6 years? Because most of the big debt comes from 2028 onwards. So that's most of the big debt. They don't really have that much debt. They've got like a small payment to make this year, and then I think in 2027 there's like $1 billion or $2 billion to pay. But really, what they're going to try and do is obviously offset that most of that $6 billion before it starts to mature, you know, in 2039, 2030, 2031, 2032. So then, I didn't actually see this. So then Peter Schiff come in saying, so if your Bitcoin is worth $6 billion and you owe $6 billion, you will have to sell all of your Bitcoin to repay your debt. But if you tried to sell all of your Bitcoin when the price was 8k, it's highly unlikely that you would receive 8k per Bitcoin. You'd realize much less. It's just not going to come to that, though, is it? They'd sell it OTC as well. They would never dump it on the market. They would OTC it, wouldn't they? I sold Bitcoin at 121. Shall I rebuy now or wait for the 28k dip? Michael, my entire retirement is in your hands. If your company fails, I launched myself off the. Oh God, I'm not reading that out. That was a bit dark, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah. So, what do you guys think? Anyway, I suppose, you know, give me your thoughts. What do you guys think? Bitcoin's still not going anywhere, so there's not point really looking at much. If you do want me to cover any altcoins or anything specifically, do let me know, and I can definitely do that. If you do want me to look at any specific altcoins, let me know in the chat. So we looked at that, didn't we? So there's nothing really much else moving today apart from stable. You know, the one after stable is 4% up. If we look at the 7-day, Pippin is up 169%. Stable's up there with 57%. Then you've got Zcash up 25%. Morpho, Pi. There's Asta, Tau, Pepe, Virtuals, Pengu. So yeah, that's where we're at anyway. Let's have a look at Pippin. I haven't looked at Pippin in a while. See what Pippin's been doing. Woo! Woo! Look at that. So we must have last looked at Pippin a while ago. That wasn't too far off, really, was it? That was only one day out. You look at where I drew them lines, and this must have been a while ago because I haven't used black lines in ages. Because I haven't used a light background in ages, so I must have drew these lines ages ago. That wasn't too far off, was it? That was only one day out. What I drew there was only this one day where it closed outside, and then the next day closed right back in. So that went too far away. But Pippin, I mean, yeah, look at that for a run. Anyone bought or long Pippin? It's a crazy good run, isn't it? Crazy good run. Jeff says that's prime for a short also. The last 3 days, it has been getting some absorption on it. Have I just put Pippin on your radar, Jeff? What I would say is, and the problem is you've not got much to go off, have you? You've not got much to go off. There's no price action apart from this. But what you do have with this is you have a clear deviation point, don't you? Using that, go back to the daily, you have a clear deviation point where you can see clearly. Oh, it was already there anyway. It was there. Where the price is rejecting from, and obviously you got liquidation above. So you do have, a clear point where you could short it and manage your risk. Now, obviously, managing your risk is completely up to you. So, no, by all means, this is not, and I repeat, not financial advice for the take profit or stop loss either. But you could say, you could put your stop above there and say, right, I'm going to take this trade based on the idea that is the liquidation wick and this move is finished. Or you could give yourself a little bit more room if you think you want to give yourself some room, and obviously. The more you're up, the bigger you make your stop loss. Obviously, the less reward there is, potentially. But for instance, if Pippin came up and say just took out that wick in a fast move, and then slammed back down, and then that was it. Okay, I don't want to get taken out by that type of move. You want to give yourself some room. What you can also do is, you could and you can adopt this to anything. You can adopt this to a Bitcoin breakout. You can adopt this to a breakdown. You just obviously just flip the direction, don't you? Is if you see Pippin climbing above that level and it looks strong on the low time frame, let's see how it performed on a low time frame, and we can maybe give an example. There you go. Right, hang on now. Oh wait, that's today. You can see there, can't you? On these times, it's gone above, and it's not really stayed there for long. You can see here it stayed there for about an hour and a half. Here, again stayed there for about an hour. Probably same there, an hour and a half. So it's not really stayed above that level for too long. And, on the low time frame, you can also, you can pick that area, can't you? Where it's also been slammed into it here and here. So what you could do is you could say, right, if you start to see it on the low time frame climbing above and it looks different to what it has, if it looks different to what it has here, because basically all the times it's popped above here, it's popped up, consolidated sideways and then dropped back down on it. But if you see it's consolidating for longer above there, or it consolidates and instead of breaking down, say it does this again here, or this, and instead of breaking down, it does, let's say it does, hang on. Let's say let's say it comes up and does that, and starts doing it the same again, but instead of breaking down, it then starts to go a little bit higher and climbing higher, and then starting to press up here. Then you got two options, haven't you? You got the option to say, right, I'm going to wait until it comes back down and actually shows weakness, or you then obviously look for that wherever that liquidation was. So I think it's up there. You know, I'm going to be all right until it comes above here, and then if it starts to carry on going, then I'm going to cut it. But you can definitely, you know, you can look at the low time frame PA. Bobby says Bitcoin to 8K. What is this nonsense? It's basically just looking at what Sailor and Strategy tweeted last night, mate. It's nothing. It's clickbait. I'm more than happy to say, Bobby, I've clickbaited you. I've clickbaited you, mate. So yeah, you got hooked, mate, and I've reeled you in, and then you're now on the end of my hook, and you're just flopping around like that, going like that on the end of the hook. Basically, nice bit of clickbait based on this tweet yesterday from Strategy. Basically, just looking at Strategy have kind of just cleared up the whole conversation around, you know, what happens where on Bitcoin's price compared to Strategy. Basically, they've just outlined that at 8K is where the Bitcoin reserve would equal the debt. So obviously anything below 8K would be they owe more debt than the Bitcoin, which then is obviously where it starts to get in real trouble. But at the moment, they've got 8.3 times the Bitcoin dollar amount than the debt. So they've got $6 billion in debt, and they've got almost $40 billion. Almost $50 billion in Bitcoin. But an 88% decline from from here. So I don't know if that 88% is from here. It says 88% decline, and it's using 69K. But is 88% from here 8K, or does that mean 88% from the entry? I think it's from here, to be honest. That's 88% down here. Yeah. No, that must be from the rent. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it must be from here. Anyway, so that's what they tweeted out. Basically, just saying Strategy can withstand a drawdown in Bitcoin price to 8K and still have sufficient assets to fully cover our debt. So it was a nice bit of clickbait, mate. A nice bit of clickbait, and it worked on someone. No one else has commented on it at the moment, apart from Jeff, where he just said, "No way, is Bitcoin going to 8K." But yeah, that's what it's all about, mate. So, and then of course, you know, Sailor says, you know, that the plan is to equitize the convertible debt. So I think they're trying to get away from having debt. I think it seems, because it says they're going to avoid issuing additional senior debt. So I think what they're going to try and do is get away from taking debt to buy Bitcoin and just try and buy Bitcoin with their offerings and obviously any liquid cash they've got. But mate, yeah, you got clickbaited, you got baited in, mate, and you took the hook, you took the bait. But yeah, nothing real else much going on, is there? It's good to see you as well, Bobby boy. It's good to see you. But yeah, I think we've got no US Open, by the way. If anyone's wondering if they've missed US Open or if I've missed US Open, there's no US Open today. It's a holiday in the US for President Day. So we'll be back. Well, I'll be back streaming on Wednesday, but the US market will be back open tomorrow. But yeah, hope you've all enjoyed the stream. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bobby, try and pull that hook out your cheek, mate. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Watch out for tomorrow's video. Obviously, as usual, Tuesday I'll be having a video out on the channel, so keep your eyes out for that. And I'll be back streaming on Wednesday, so I'll see you then. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all on Wednesday. Bye for now.